Hey guys, and welcome back for another tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this really cute zipper pouch. This has a tab at the end of your zipper and has a nice wide opening. So of course all the measurements for this will be over at the blog post, which will be linked below, as well as the information icon. You can check that out. You'll see more photos and materials and the exact measurements. With this tutorial, you don't really need specific measurements. You can just kind of gauge how big you want your pouch to be. As long as you have a zipper that's about 2 or 3 inches longer than your measurement, then you should be good. So I'm going to be using cotton for this tutorial. For the outer and the inner, I'm going to be putting some medium weight interfacing on the back of my outer fabric just to give it some rigidity, but you don't need to. And then of course I have my nylon zipper that's about 2 or 3 inches longer than the top of the rectangle. So the first thing I'm going to do is install my zipper. I'm going to take the zipper with the zipper pulled down, place that on the top of my fabric at the top. If you have a directional fabric, then of course make note that you're doing it at the top of your fabric. And then you're just going to line up the raw edge of your zipper onto the side of that rectangle, and then take the one side of your zipper and then fold it back up to the top of your fabric like this. So you're just kind of going to make it into like a little triangle on the end, and then you'll just line up the rest of your zipper with the top of the fabric. We're going to take our lining piece and we're going to sandwich that between the zipper. We're going to sew all the way across, but when you get to the end, about 1 inch away from the end, we're going to actually pull our zipper down, holding it in place at that 1 inch mark, and then we're going to keep sewing. So we're sort of going to be veering the zipper off of the fabric. So I'm just using a zipper foot to do this, and I will just sew along. And then I like to use some sort of tool. I'm using an awl here just to help me press down on the 1 inch mark. And then with my other hand, I'm going to veer the zipper off. And then I'll keep sewing. If you are using a tool or a stitch ripper, make sure you don't hit it with your needle, of course. And then we'll back stitch that and take that out of the machine. And then I'll just show you how it's supposed to look. So as you can see, the zipper is sort of just coming out of the fabric at the 1 inch mark. And then we'll just flip it with the right sides out. Normally I would do a top stitch along the zipper, but I'm actually going to be doing that at the end. So now we'll just press it down with our fingers just to make sure it worked out. This is how it should look for you. And then we will do up our zipper and install the other 2 pieces of fabric. So again, making sure that your zipper pull is facing the right side of your outer fabric. We will sandwich that between the zipper, making sure to line up the raw edges. And I will get my lining piece and then just place that there. And then we'll do the same thing we did with that little piece of zipper on the end. We'll fold that up, make it into like a little triangle, and then I'll just pin that into place so it doesn't move around when I go to sew it. You're going to make sure that your zipper is placed on the same spot as both sides of your bag, just so that when you finish your bag, it doesn't end up all wonky. And I'm sorry about the black bars on these videos. I think that I accidentally may have changed the settings on my cell phone. So for some reason now I have these black bars. Hopefully the next video I won't have those. But again, at the 1 inch mark, I just veered off my zipper like I did on the other side. So from there, I'm going to press the seam along the zipper. And this will just help me when I go to do my top stitch later on. Don't you just love this fabric? It's so pretty. I think I got it over at Joann's. Yes, I did. Okay, so next we are going to take the right sides of the lining and the right sides of the outer fabrics and place those together. We're going to sew all the way around it, but we don't want to touch the zippers. So we're going to take the end of the zipper and we're just going to tuck that in towards the outer fabric side. I'm going to put a pin in it just so that it doesn't fling back open again. But we're going to make sure that when we sew over this seam that we do not touch a zipper. And same with the other side. Again, because it's set in about 3/4 of an inch, we're going to make sure that we don't touch the zipper there as well. We're going to leave a 3 or 4 inch gap at the bottom of our lining, and we'll do probably 1/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch, doesn't matter, just as long as you don't hit any zipper. So I did open the zipper a little bit more here, and that will just help when I go to flip the bag right side out later on. So I hope you're enjoying this tutorial, and if you are, I would love it if you gave it a big thumbs up, and of course don't forget to subscribe. And all of my social media, the Facebook group and Instagram, are down below, so if you make any of my projects, we would all love to see them. Lots of people love to share their bags, and it's just a good place to hang out and talk about sewing things. And of course, I would love it if you shared the video with all of your friends. That will help me keep bringing you free and quality content, because that is what I love to do. I love to give you free stuff to help you in your sewing journey, and all those likes and shares just help me keep going. Okay, so after that, as you can see, we have the little hole at the bottom of our lining. Now we're going to box the bottom of this pouch. This is totally up to you what your measurement is going to be. Basically, whatever or however thick you want the bottom of your pouch to be, that's your measurement. So I'm going to be doing 2.5 inches wide, which will make it 2.5 inches wide. So I'm just going to sort of triangle off the corners of the pouch. And by doing that, we will take the seams, the side seam and the bottom seam, and put those together. And you want to try to line those up as best as possible. And then we will just measure from side to side 2.5 inches. Of course, if you have a fabric that is a little bit translucent, you don't want to use a Sharpie. I did that just for demonstration purposes, and because I knew it wasn't going to go through. But you're just going to put a pin in all those drawn lines, and then we will sew along those lines. That is our guide, and then we will snip off all those little triangles. So here it is. This is how it should look. We're just going to snip off those corners, and then we can turn our bag right side out, and we are almost done. We have 2 more steps. I love these pouches. They are so cute. I want to make more. Okay, so as per usual, as every tutorial that I make, now we will begin the struggle process of me opening the zipper from the inside out and slowly but surely birthing the project, as they call it. And here is where you will find, if you box your corners nicely like this one, that's perfect. Now, we're 1 for 2. Let's see. Can we do it? Can we do it? Oh. Nope. Well, let's say it's movie magic, but later on I did fix that. So if your OCD gene is kind of freaking out right now, don't worry, I did fix it. So now we're just going to do a top stitch all the way around the bag, and because the zipper is out of the way, it's very, very easy. If your bag is the same size as mine, I took the little arm off of my machine and I was able to just put that on and just, sew around. If you have a smaller pouch, then this top stitch might be easier if you did it on the inside. And yeah, on the, I don't know. If that makes sense. I'm not using my zipper foot for this portion because my standard foot actually was perfect. It lined up with the zipper teeth and made a beautiful straight edge, just like that. So I lied before. There's actually 2 steps. Now, last 2 steps are to take the lining out, and we're just going to close up that hole. So we're just going to make sure those little raw edges are pushed in, pull it a little tight like this, and then you can just do a top stitch over top. If you want to use your matching thread, if you want to do an invisible stitch, it's totally up to you. I just did a top stitch. You won't see it, it's inside the bag. Okay, so here's the last step. The last step is to create our tab. So the first thing you're going to do is place your zipper where you want it to open up to. And then we will snip off the rest of it, about 3/4 of an inch. We're going to take a piece of fabric that measures 2 inches by 3 inches. Place the right side of the fabric on the underside of our zipper. Fold the fabric around the zipper, and then we'll just clip that into place. We're then going to sew it across at about 3/4 of an inch seam allowance. And then we'll take it out of the machine, pull the fabric, and then as you can see, the fabric it wants to wrap around the edges. It looks beautiful. So now we're just going to take our iron and we are going to press with the zipper. So as you can see, it's lining up with the zipper. And then we'll do that to the other side. Then we're going to fold it down once, and then fold it down one more time, coming straight down to the beginning of the fabric, so that the front of that little tab piece lines up with the back of the tab piece. And then you can do your stitches either down the short sides and down the one side, or you can do a box on the whole thing, up to you. And I love being able to fussy cut that piece. As you can see, I had the little ruler piece on there. Looks super cute. Or you can just put a little piece of leather on the end of it. Okay, so that is it. Isn't it absolutely adorable? I love it so much. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Again, if you have any difficulty, check out the blog post, which is linked below. And as always, hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and smash the like button, as the kids like to say it these days. And I will see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye guys!